shit. Oh, Huntress. Hang on. Not that Huntress, the other one. So, we're ranking Huntress' add-ons in general. We're gonna go from the most common. I don't know why this is like out of order, but that's fine. But we'll go from like basically brown to yellow, green, purple, and then pink. That's pink, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Unless I'm colorblind and I don't fucking know. Alright, so we're gonna go over some of the add-ons. If I do need help, I will just look it up. The first one, that is, yeah, that's the Amanita Toxin. Okay, so what it does, I'm just gonna like go over every add-on. When they're hit with the hunting hatchet, they suffer from the blindness status effect for 60 seconds. Okay, so Amanita Toxin isn't really used that much, honestly. I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't say it's useful. I know for sure people don't use this add-on. I've like used it a couple of times, but I don't think it necessarily helped that much. Again, you know, it depends on the person. Stuff like that, but yeah. So reliability, it really depends. If it's a really dark map, it can really help. But there are better add-ons to help you a lot more. For example, Bandaged Haft. Or, wait, hold up. Hold up. Planet status effect. Wait, they removed it. Right, yeah, they removed it. Never mind. Okay, there was an old add-on that can help with stuff like DHOH and stuff like that. Basically, the adjusted status effect, but I don't think any of them have it. Anyway, that, for example, the old add-on, that would have helped a lot better than Amanita Toxin. I would put it on the D tier, honestly. I don't think it's useful at all. I don't think it also helped with map pressure or gen pressure. It just helped with shaded in general. It is sort of situational, but it kind of isn't at the same time, because you're throwing a hatchet, you're still gonna apply it no matter what, right? Basically, a hatchet her main weapon. So I wouldn't say that useful. The reliability, being able to rely on it, I will put it like half-half. Maybe I'll put it to a D. Why did it take so long? I would probably put it to a D, but I have a feeling with D. Why am I lagging, bro? Why is my Firefox is lagging for some reason? Oh, hold up, maybe it's just that I have a bunch of, okay. Alright, so I would probably put it at a D tier. If anything, I'll change it up if I feel anything. Okay, next one, Bandaged Haft. So, what Bandaged Haft does, it slightly reduces the cooldown time between hatchet throws. Personally, I love Bandaged Haft. It is one of the best add-ons you can use for Huntress. You can definitely rely on it, and it is very, very helpful when it comes to map pressure or gen pressure. There is another one that I really, really love, and I'll make a video on this soon. Basically, it's a video on best, you know, add-on combos and stuff like that. Bandaged Haft works super well with multiple add-ons. So you can just slap it there and then just add another add-on to kind of really, it basically synergizes very well together. So it can be situational, like most of the add-ons are, and some of them are strictly more situational than others. But I would definitely give Bandaged Haft 10 out of 10. It is definitely a top tier add-on once you know how to use it well and to make it play into your favor. So definitely a tier for Bandaged Haft. It's fucking amazing. Also, there's a tier for sure. I'll put that in the front. Both of them are fucking OP. Like, if you know how to use them well, very good, very good. Bandaged Haft, both of them, at tier. Straight up. Amazing. I love these both add-ons. Alright, next one, Begrimed Head. So, just to cover what Begrimed Head does. Survivors hit with the hunting hatchet suffer from the mangled and 𝘾𝙊𝙉𝙉𝙃 status effect until healed. So, mangled, I need to look that up because I haven't really... Okay, it slows the speed at which the affected survivor can be healed by 20%. The status effect persists until the survivor is fully healed. Okay, so this is good. Both of them are good, especially if you're running perks like Sloppy Butcher or anything like that, it can really help with slowing down healing, and that helped a lot with Gen Pudge, Map Pudge, all that stuff. Let me put this. Okay, I'm gonna actually make that smaller. Hold up. Alright, I'm gonna put it in the bottom so you guys can see it. Let me lower the font a little bit. There we go. Oh, hold up. Oh my god, Mom, thank you!
Marco for join the BlinKyRTX.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
𝘾𝙊𝙉𝙉𝙃 welcomes you.
Welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing great. Thank you so much for the sub. Oh. Alright, so Begrimed Head. Okay, so it's definitely useful depending on the build that you're using. Reliability for sure, for sure. If you want to use it, if you're using it wisely, right, with Sloppy Butcher, it can really help, like, slow down the game. It can definitely help a lot with, Gen Pudger for sure. 10 out of 10. If you want to use it, it can work really well. It can really work with Sloppy Butcher. Slow down perks, slow down add-ons, all that stuff. Very useful. I would definitely put it at an S tier next to Bandaged Haft in my personal experience, because I don't use Begrimed Head. I have a couple of times, but I don't think. I would put it at the A tier, honestly. I don't think it helped that much because my playstyle isn't really slow down. I just down people as quickly as possible. So for me, personally, Bandaged Haft, for example, would help me in that kind of playstyle. But if you have a slowdown build, right, or if that's your playstyle, Begrimed Head would be a wonderful addition for you to use. Oh yeah, no problem, teacher. I'm glad I could help. Alright, next one is, oh boy, not Coarse Stone. I don't like Coarse Stone. Okay, Grunt of Pain of survivors hit with Huntress hatchets are increased by 50% until fully healed. So this is sort of like spirit perk, right? No, wait, the nerds? Yeah, it's nerds. Okay, so basically, you'll be able to hear grunts, right? As louder. It's increased by 50%. So I don't think Coarse Stone. Oh, let me loop this. Hang on, play that. How do I loop this thing? Alright, there we go. Alright, so I don't think Coarse Stone is that useful when there's a shitload of add-ons that could really help you in the long run. So it can be useful. Again, depends on personal preference. Add-ons are based on personal preference. You can also make them like meme builds, all that stuff. I don't think it helped that much with Gen Pudger. If you have amazing ears, amazing for you. If you really like it, that's great. I think it's more of a D tier because it's 50-50. It's basically like a personal preference add-on in a way. It's not something that will necessarily really help you in terms of chasing, in terms of Gen Pudger, in terms of survival Pudger, all that stuff. So I would definitely put it around the D tier, maybe the D tier. I don't really like these add-ons that much, but again, I don't think it really helped that much. It's a 50-50 kind of thing right now. So, alright, Deerskin Gloves. Okay, first of all, Deerskin Gloves are my most favorite add-ons. Like, to combo with the Horseshoe add-on, and I will explain that in a bit. So let's go over what the Deerskin Glove does. It moderately introduces moderately reduces reload time at lockers. So basically, the reason why I always think this is an amazing perk, I'll put it in the A tier, personally, because again, it's a preference, you know, add-on. For example, it doesn't necessarily help that much, but it can when it comes to shading and all that stuff. If you know how you do, right? It helped a lot with, you know, managing your time when it comes to being in a match, right? And, you know, you're basically wasting less time being able to get into your shades quicker than average, right? So it's all based on personal preference. I would put it at the S tier, but I'm not. Hold up. You know what? I'm not gonna put that. I'm just gonna put. Forget it. Alright, so I don't know why it's lagging. That is so weird. I hate that. Alright, so I'm just gonna add like some words next to the letter to kind of make it easier. B is sort of like 50-50. It's like a mix of both, right? So I think it's like I would probably put it at the B tier. honestly, because it is 50-50, it can be situational. But in general, it just helps a lot with, you know, being able to get into a match quicker, get into a shade quicker, all that stuff. You know, things can change depending on what add-ons you're running. Alright, so next one, Flower Babushka. So this reduces the hunting hatchet wind-up time. So this is not the cooldown, it's the wind-up time. Right, again. Okay, I think it helped a lot. I love Babushka. It's a very good add-on, even though I don't use it that often. It helped a lot with shades in general, so I would definitely put it in S tier. It worked very well comboed with a couple of add-ons. But again, that's for another video, that's for another stream, so I'll get into that later. But Babushka can really help when it comes to, you know, tight corners, loops around, like really bad loops for Huntress. You know, even having a quicker like wind up thing, it can really basically change the tide of a chase or the match in general. So I think it really helped a lot. The reliability is very strong, it's very useful. It can definitely be situational, depends on you. It can help with map pressure, especially if you're trying to do cross map shots. You can basically just shoot them before they think about it. Like, they might be like, oh, you know, I have a second to move, right? But that ends up not being true, right? And they'll get hit and stuff like that, and they'll be like, what the fuck? Like, that was a little bit faster than usual. So it's sort of like, it can help in a lot of regions, right? It can help in a lot of situations and stuff like that. And my ears like clogged and it's super annoying. Holy shit. Alright, so next one. Ooh, okay. So Glowing Concoction. Alright, so survivors hit with the hunting hatchet have their oil revealed to you for 5 seconds. This is a visual add-on, so this can help a lot in corn run maps, you know, maps that can be hard. And I think it's very useful. Okay. I don't think it deserves to be in the S tier. Because again, it is personal preference. Usually, if you play Huntress a lot, you wouldn't necessarily have a problem with wherever they're going, especially with the corner maps. So again, personal preference. I would put it on B. I would not put it on C because it is not useless. It's actually very useful. The reliability is very strong. It's not situational because basically every time you hit somebody, it's like the first time, I believe it is, yeah. It'll basically show up. The ore is gonna show up for 5 seconds. That's very powerful if you know how to use it right. Map pressure can definitely work. Gen pressure 100%. This, I usually run it only if I have a feeling I'm gonna do corn run, right? And sometimes I don't run it like regularly, but just if I'm bringing a map offering, that's a good example. If I'm bringing a map offering, I would definitely bring that for like corn runs or anything like that. Otherwise, I don't. So it can definitely help with gen pressure, especially if you have barbecue. Or if you just see somebody running towards like at the survivors and you know where they are, having that information is very, very good. It's very useful. I will put it on B. Let me put it 50-50. Next one. Infantry Belt. So this basically just gives you 2 additional hatchets and increases the hatchet carrying capacity by 2 hatchets. So basically you would have 7, unless you pair it up with leather loop, you would have 8, I believe, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong, guys? I don't think I am. Yeah. So Infantry Belt. It doesn't really help with any of these. Again, it's personal preference, so I'm gonna put it under C. It can help, but we're talking about an experience standpoint, right? Not for players who are just starting off with Huntress. Of course, I would recommend some add-ons to use if you're just starting off with Huntress. But this is coming from an experience standpoint. So I definitely think it deserves to be in the C tier. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just personal preference. It doesn't necessarily help with any of the points I've added, right? It doesn't necessarily help with map pressure, jump pressure, all that stuff. It's just personal preference. That's literally it. Yeah. Alright, next one. Iridescent Head. Okay. Honestly though, So basically, the new Iridescent Head that they have reworked, when you hit a survivor with an Iridescent Head, they are put into the dying state immediately. And I cap the hatchet carrying capacity at 1 hatchet. Do I think this is useful? No. It is completely useless. I don't recommend using Eerie Head unless you're just fucking around and it's just a main build. It's not useful because you only cap the 1 hatchet. It's gonna make it very difficult for you to even gain any gen pressure, any map pressure, because if you only have 1 hatchet and you're just running towards its level, like, you're gonna have a very low chance of actually, like, winning in the match or whatever. So it's a horrible perk to run regularly, of course. It's not gonna help you learn Huntress at all. It's not gonna help you learn all of these things that you need for you to get better at Huntress, right? So the most part about being a Huntress main, or just learning Huntress in general, is knowing the map. That is 100%, in my opinion, the best thing to do as Huntress. You want to learn the map. Once you do, you can use the map as your playground, for example, to basically use it to mind game, to know where they're gonna go, to know where you're gonna go, right? So if I see somebody like going at the corner, right, and I don't see them behind the wall, but I know how that jungle gem looks like, I can use that to my advantage. So that's why I'm gonna bring up a video soon, and the title is literally just using the map as your playground. It's just a killer guide in general, but it can help a lot, you know, knowing the map, and that will make you a better killer no matter what. Like, even if it's not Huntress, Deathslinger, Trapper, whatever it is, a lot of people don't realize the importance of knowing the map and learning how the map looks like. And it helped a lot. So, how are you, man? We're just ranking add-ons, but alright, so Eerie Head, definitely not useful. No. Leather Loop, again, put it on C tier, you guys know that. It's, again, a personal preference. I don't think it helped that much. Cousin Puttee? Pog, that's awesome. Is it fun? Alright. Manna Grass Braid. It moderately reduces the Hunting Hatchet Wonder, but again, same thing. Okay. Okay, so they're both the same. It's just that Babushka has... It basically applied less time to wind up. Children? Oh no. Oh. I'm sorry, man. Alright, so Manna Grass Braid, I would definitely put it next to Babushka. Now I'm kind of thinking... Yeah, but I think they're both really good. I think they're both great. I'm just putting it behind Babushka because it's less time, though. It just moderately reduces, and then Babushka basically considerably reduces, so Babushka has more of it. So you can use either way, it doesn't really matter. Helps a lot with that pressure again, gen pressure. If you're not using it right, go for it. Okay, so next one. Why does it keep loading? It's annoying. Okay, Road Root. We're going into the new add-on that they've been using, right? Road Root. It increases hatchet flight speed by 20%. Okay, this is really interesting because since they're new, basically I've been experimenting with them. I've been using them lately. Okay. It is definitely useful, but Road Root, anything with hatchet flight speed, right? Again, is a little bit on personal preference. However, I will put it in the A tier. The reason why for this, because it is good as well, but it's sort of dependent. I wouldn't say it's gonna help change it that much. It's not like... Yeah, for sure. It's not like Bandaged Haft, right? They're both very similar in a way. But I think Road Root... Yeah, you know what? Okay, yeah, this is... Okay, so Road Root is definitely useful, but it is based on personal preference. It can help with changes, but it can help with tight corners. It can help with map pressure. But it is based on personal preference. That's the only reason why I'm putting it on A. First, before Begrimed Head. So it depends. Like, it really depends because we're used to it, right? We're used to Huntress' regular flight speed. That's why I feel like it deserves its spot in A, not exactly an S. But if I change my mind, I'll go over it after I'm done, and then I'll see if I have to change anything. But for now, I'm gonna put it on A. I think Rosewood is definitely an add-on that I do recommend. Very, very good, especially when it comes to timing, cross map shot, barbecue, all that stuff. Alright, next one. We got another one. Hold up. Yeah, this is the same one as Begrimed Head, Rusty Head. Same thing. It only mangled status effect. I will put it on personal preference. I'll put it on B, probably, because Begrimed Head is a lot better. It's not only mangled, it also slows down, it makes you bleed faster, and slows down healing as well. So, Begrimed Head, I would obviously put that on top of Rusty Head. Begrimed Head is better to run, in my personal preference. My personal opinion. Alright, ooh, my favorite! Alright, Shiny Pin. So what Shiny Pin does, it slightly increases the Hunter has the movement speed. Okay, so this is a little bit different, right? This is movement speed we're talking about. I think that helps change it so much. It sort of is like Rosewood, but we're talking about Hunter's speed when she's winding up. So you do realize that her speed goes down? Alright. We're gonna go down to Huntress and read. What the fuck? Did I miss it? There it is. Okay. So 77% of her speed is gone when she's winding up. Right? Her normal speed is 4.4 meters per second. That's 110%. But when she's winding up, it's 3.08 meters per second. A bunch of her speed is gone. So, I personally would put it in S tier because I think it helps so fucking much when it comes to tight corners, all that kind of stuff. And I think it's definitely useful when it comes to shaded and stuff like that. It has helped me so many times. And oh my god, survivors do not expect you running that add-on. I don't see any. All of the Huntress mains I've gone against, any Huntress player, they've never run Shiny Pin. Never. Bro, I never see them run. Like, Shiny Pin with Deerskin Gloves. Dude, I'm talking about speed, dude. They think you have Iron Maiden. They don't expect you to actually move faster when you're winding up. So I'm not sure what is the winded movement speed in terms of percentage, because I do need to check how much it is. Hold up. Well, apparently there's no actual like information on that, but I think well, hold up. Both of them are very similar. I'll probably put it in the front. Okay, I think I'm pretty proud of what I'm putting Shiny Pin at. It helped a lot. Again, it is situational, it is dependent. It's really based on you. I'm not asking you to go by the tier. This is just my personal opinion, based on what I've used and I experimented with all of them. But I think it really helped with my budget for sure. Survivor budget for sure, dude. Again, it depends. Like, if you're chasing them like running, it can help since you get a little bit closer. But besides that, it can help a lot with like jungle loops, all that stuff, house loops. Like, if you turn in the corner, it can help a lot. Like, a lot. It's so good. Alright, next one. Soldier's Puttee. So, what did Soldier's Puttee do? Basically, the Huntress moved at 4.6 meters per second whenever she's out of hatchet. So, it is situational. It is more situational than her usual add-ons. I would say I'll put it in the B tier, because I don't think it's an S tier at all. Because one, you're always reloading. Two, it can be only useful if you're very close to them, right? And you just run out of hatchets. And if you're just basically close it up at the shack, for example, it can help a lot with these kind of loops. So it is situational, but the thing is that you're not going to be using it all the time. And you're not going to be spending 90% of a match just chasing people down without a hatchet, right? So I would put it B, 50-50. It is based on poison preference. I don't like running it because I don't think it helps that much. The reliability, I would put it at 50-50. It's very situational. It's like 80% like situational. It really depends, right? It is a problem if they're already way too far, right? And you run out of a hatchet. Are you going to chase them? No. If they're all the way over there, right? And you have soldiers PTA on, what are you going to do? You're going to reload. So, honestly, I don't think it deserves A or S at all. It's just very dependent, very situational. So I'm going to put it at B, 50-50, you know. Right. Next one. Venomous Concoction. Survivors hit with the hunting hatchet suffer from their jadded. Okay, so this is the one. Just status effect for 5 seconds. They used to have it for 30 to 60 seconds for one of the older add-ons. Now it's 5 seconds. Okay, so I think any add-on to help with adjusted status effect helped tremendously. Like, I'm not even joking. I think I will put this on the A tier. One, because it will help with map pressure in general, but any add-on that helps with their like dead hard, all that stuff, it helps so much, like cutting chases out, that I don't think it deserves a tier, mainly because it's only 5 seconds. However, that can be enough. It is a little bit situational, but it can help a lot. I do recommend it to pair it up with Bandaged Haft or any of these cooldown add-ons, all that stuff. So I think it really helps a lot when it comes to that area. I'm glad it is. I'm glad. Why does the stupid mic keep like getting in the way? Like, I can't remove it because it's gonna fuck up again. But we're closing up with the last add-on. Hopefully, I went through everything. Did I? I did, yes. Okay. Weighted Head. Ooh, okay, so I have a lot of thoughts on Weighted Head. So Weighted Head is the new add-on that they've basically made. So survivors hit with the hunting hatchet survive. They suffer from the incapacitated status effect for 10 seconds. So if you don't know what that does, think about Victor on your back, right? And you can't do much. You can't enter lockers, you can't exit the gate, right? That is what Weighted Head does for 10 seconds only. I don't think it's a very useful perk at all. I think it's fucking... I think it's useless. Like, it's so bad. I've experimented with it a couple of times already. It's very, very situational. Very situational. But throughout the map, right? Reliability is horrible. It only helps with endgame. If you're running an endgame build with add-ons, I would recommend Weighted Head. Mainly because you can hit them if they're opening the gate and they cannot escape, right? That's probably the only time when it's actually useful. But most of the time, survivors will be at the open area. It's fucking useless. Like, I don't think it deserves to be any of these fucking tiers. It's not useful that much. Like, only like maybe 10% of a match it would be useful, but most of the time, no. Weighted Head is not that good. I don't necessarily recommend it unless you're running an endgame build. That's all I gotta say. If you wanna play like the twins, slap the add-on. I don't blame you. But in general, if you want add-on to help you throughout the match, S tier, A tier is good. B tier is fine. It's just that if you combo the S tier add-ons with any of these, personal preference it doesn't mean they're bad. It's just personal preference. That's all. Let me double check and made it. Okay, so... Oh. Coarse Stone. Okay, you know what? Nah. I'm putting Coarse Stone at D. It's terrible. I think it's fucking useless. It's not that good, honestly. These two aren't that good at all. I never see Huntress won that. It's not a very good add-on. Basically, blinded status effect and being able to hear louder grunts. I feel like that you can literally just put fighter. Like, it's the same thing as fighter. But I don't think it would help you that much. You wanna be able to utilize more of like visual or adjust the status effect, that kind of thing. But next one is Wooden Fuck. So Wooden Fuck grants the undetectable status effect after reloading. Okay, this is an extremely... Wooden Fuck, guys, you know I love Wooden Fuck. I actually fucking love it. It's becoming one of my most favorite add-ons. Wooden Fuck is extremely situational, but it can help so much with changes. One, if you are gained the undetectable status effects, that literally means no heartbeat and no red stain for 10 seconds. 10 seconds, that's very, very fucking powerful. I'm glad, Mark. I'm glad. It's very powerful when it comes to, especially in changes, or if you're about to go to shack or something like that, you can just literally just throw one hatchet, go reload, and get the undetectable status effect for 10 seconds. And this happens every time you reload, despite the amount of hatchets you have. You're basically a fucking Myers, but with hatchet. Think about that. What would you do in a situation if you were a survivor hiding in the fucking basement and you don't hear shit, you don't see shit, and there's a fucking Huntress right behind you, winding up, literally about to kill you? Do you realize how powerful that is in the right hands? I think Wooden Fuck deserves to be in the A tier. Straight up in the first one. Not in the S tier because it is based on personal preference. It is very situational. So I don't think it's gonna be like, oh, it's gonna help me throughout the match, like Bandaged Haft does. So it's gonna be an A tier, I believe, in the first one next to Rose Root. Both of them are fucking fantastic. But Wooden Fuck is very powerful when you use it right. So you wanna be able to really make sure you don't want the survivor to know where you are, right? So to keep that in mind, it's basically like Iron Will. Think about Iron Will. You do realize that after they get injured, they don't leave any scratch marks. That's literally Wooden Fox on the other side. That's basically Wooden Fox. Right? Survivors do not know where you are, and you can literally just tip them off. And they don't know where you are, they can't hear you, nothing. It's very powerful when if you can use it right. Very strong when you can combo with the top 2 tiers add-ons. Right? Right, last but not least, again, this is easy. This is the same thing, the other one. Increases hatchet flight speed by 10% instead of 20. Again, this is personal preference. I think it helps a lot. It helped a lot when it comes to speed, reliability, and being able to get map and survivor pressure, jump pressure, and other stuff. Alright, so guys, that's pretty much it. That is my tier list for all of Huntress' add-ons. At tier, basically, I'm gonna go over everything. So at tier, what the at tier does is that it helps with changes in general. It helps throughout the entire match, right? It doesn't mean that it's very situational, cut in the middle situational, but it helps throughout the entire match. Right? The A tier is sort of similar to the S tier, however, it is just a tad bit situational. It can help in some instances, and it's sort of based on personal preference, not entirely. So it also depends on your build, it depends on what you want to do, depends on your playstyle, all that stuff. If you're very, very aggressive like me, definitely go with the add-ons on top. You can combo with add-ons in the A tier or the B tier. Or C tier, you know, personal preference, all that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind. A tier, similar to S tier, like I said, but it's just a tad bit situational. Alright, B tier is 50-50. It is based on a personal preference, but it doesn't really affect on how well you can do in the match, right? So for example, Deerskin Gloves. I love Deerskin Gloves because one, I can literally trick survivors into thinking I have Iron Maiden. That would trick them not to get into lockers, right? Two, for example, Concoction. Very dependent, right? I don't necessarily need the add-on, right? Because if you already know how to play Huntress, you don't need a visual add-on. Unless you're having a really big issue, right? Yeah. Begrimed Head, I put it lower. I mean, this is Lucky Head. I put it under Begrimed Head for a reason because they only had one status effect besides than 2, which Begrimed Head has. So yeah, I would put that at 50-50 for sure. And Bloated Puttee again, it's a little bit personal preference, but it doesn't necessarily help throughout the entire match. It depends on where you are, it depends how far you are from the survivor. All that stuff. If you're very close, awesome, great. It can help a lot for sure. Like vaulting, all that stuff, and you can get there before they can vault and stuff like that. Perfect. Again, 50-50, it's like right in the middle. It's like right in the middle between S, A, C, and D, right? So it's right in the middle. It's more, it is useful, but it's just personal preference. D, it's entirely personal preference. These two add-ons don't necessarily help you, or they're not necessarily useless. They just give you more hatchets. It can help in very certain situations, especially when you're basically like, it can definitely help with certain chases, but I wouldn't say it's very OP. It is not at all. It's just entirely dependent on personal preference. And D, last but not least, not useless add-ons. Okay, honestly, Withered Head. Okay, I would not. Okay, you know what? I'll think about it. Yeah, Withered Head. Okay, it's not useless. It's personal preference. This is hard. Oh my god. It's just very situational. Withered Head is just very situational. It's mainly helpful for endgame, but it's not that useful. Let me put your head in the front. Okay. Okay, so Withered Head is only for endgame kind of stuff. But I'll probably put it on the B tier, on the very last part, just because it's okay, but it really depends on your playstyle, depends on your build, depends on what you want to do. Hey Dono, welcome. Hi. But yeah, these, I don't think it's useful. I don't think it helps at all when it comes to games. Some people might have a different opinion, but that's fine. This is my personal opinion after I experimented with all of them. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That is my tier guide. These 5 tips, these 5 points are just basically just to help out gauge if an add-on is useful or not. So I typed it out really fast. Alright, so that is my tier maker thing.